Hey Sakura friends, it's Melissa with melissaesplin.com and calligraphy.org. I am very excited to share with you a tutorial on how to paint Bella Hoya leaves. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. So we're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need watercolor paper, this is cold press, and a Sakura water brush. This is really great, a small water brush, a Sakura mechanical pencil, and a spritzer. The spritzer is very important for activating saturated pigment. And then we'll need the Sakura Koi 24 pan set. Additionally, I have a paper towel and some additional water above. You're going to start out by spritzing your water. It's going to give you a very nice, vibrant feel with these Bella Hoya leaves. You're going to really want to do that. Take a look at the stems. Let's break down the plant. You have a really nice thin stem and then these teardrop-shaped leaves that are stemming from the same point all the way down. The new growth is a little bit lighter than the old growth. That's kind of darker. You can really tell a difference when you look at it up close. Now with that in mind, we're going to just draw our stems, not the leaves. We're not going to be very perfect, and I'm drawing a very light line. See how the stem breaks off into two in real life. I'm going to add another one here, and this is going to kind of left justify my composition to one side, and I'm going to crop off the page. I really like doing that a lot. Okay, now we're going to mix up our green. I really like a little bit of muddiness with my green, so I'll show you how to do that. First, I'm getting the darkest green that I have. I've got a little bit of extra water that I'm adding to it, but the spritz pans give me a very saturated pigment. So that gives me a lot of green that I can mix up in this awesome well over here. This green is just like a little too gemstone-y, so I need to add a little bit of extra color to really muddy it up. I personally love adding a little bit of yellow ochre to my greens. It just livens it up and makes it that really nice, juicy green. All right, we're going to start with our stems and do just one at a time. I'm going to start from the left and work my way right, but if you're a lefty, you may want to start from the right and work your way left. I'm going to start here and get soupy water on here. I'm going to draw just this simple line all the way down, and it's super wiggly, and then I'm going to paint in each one of the leaves. I'm going to start from the top. They're both coming from the same point, and I'm purposefully taking this second leaf all the way off the page so it looks purposeful and like I intended to make that crop. And not all of them are going to be the same shape or going the same direction, but we're going to start out that way, and then we'll do some foreshortening as we work our way down the vine. I'm using a nice quality paper that keeps the pigment wet for a while, so now I'm going to drop in additional colors like blues and browns to give a lot of variety and depth to what I'm painting. It really makes a big difference adding those little bits of extra color, otherwise the painting just comes off a little too flat and one-dimensional. I'm going to keep going, and naturally the pigment as I go is going to get diluted as I go down the stem, so it's going to get that lighter pigment for the new growth. See how I'm doing different shapes and orientations as I'm going down. I'm really trying to pull the organic shape and the organic growth of these leaves. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow to really vibrant and spice up that new growth towards the end of my stem. Okay, so that's the first part here. I'm going to continue with the rest of these stems and keep mixing up plenty of pigment. I really like this field set because I can mix up a lot of pigment in each one of the wells, and I will very rarely run shy of pigment when I'm going through one of these stems. All right, so I'm going to start my second stem, and I'm making the stem kind of wonky. It's just falling across down the page. They're kind of funky, and I think that's really what gives it that character. I'm bleeding into the other leaves for variety, so if you can, overlap the leaves. I think it looks really nice. Now with this leaf, I'm going to add and keep just a little bit of white space in the middle, and keeping that little bit of white space in some of them, you don't have to do it to all of them, really adds a lot to the overall look, that not all of the leaves are exactly the same. It's really crucial about thinking about texture and not keeping everything exactly the same. I'm going to just keep working my way down and add more water to my pigment as I go along. This is a great time to start changing up the shapes of the leaves and creating some foreshortening there. The leaf is kind of falling back instead of, or coming forward at you, instead of just looking at it from the profile. Now is a really great time to start adding and dropping in extra color for that dimension. I'm mixing up just a very nice light blue, and the pigment up here is a little bit dry, so it's not blending in as much, but that still adds a lot of texture to it, which I'm happy about. And the yellow to the bottom. I like adding yellow to the tips just because that's where the new growth is coming. Then you want to err on the side of having more water than less. It really makes a big difference having wet pigment and doing wet into wet techniques here. This is the last stem here, and we're just about ready to be done with this piece, which is great. It's a really quick exercise, and we're just going to keep doing the same things we've been doing, the same techniques, except right here, my previous leaf is dry, so I'm going to paint around the leaf and create the effect that this leaf that I'm currently painting is falling back behind the previous one. It really adds a different style than the wet into wet that we were doing earlier. I'm just going to keep doing the same techniques as before. Just keep on going. We're in the home stretch here. Just tapping in a little extra bit of color here. We're getting close. Now we've got an offshoot of this vine, and then we're just about done with this painting. It's a quick little study here that we're doing to really practice those wet into wet techniques and just get comfortable with mixing color. But this is also a fun study that once you're done, you can actually hang in your home and be excited about it. All right, we're in the home stretch here, tapping in a little bit of extra color, and here you go. Put a big frame on it and you're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Show me your finished pieces by tagging me at MelissaFur over on Instagram. I'd love to see your progress. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, check out melissaesplin.com and calligraphy.org. Thanks again, and I hope to see you around. Happy painting.